Oh, we're live. I was waiting for the border to come in. Welcome to another episode of Muscle Matters. And in the words of my good friend Tom, Pastor Tom, Ed, muscles do matter. I'm here joined tonight with Ed. We're going to be talking about, we're going to pay homage to powerful men. So, like, how would you just powerful men? Like there are those that can, and then there's that whole other category of
Well, it's as applicable, we can say freak athletes.
Yes, freak athletes.
There's the majority of everybody else, and then there is those guys.
There's the 1% of the 1%ers.
Yes.
So let's rock and roll. Welcome back to Muscle Matters, and what's going to happen tonight is we're gonna do something new and different. We're gonna be playing clips, and we're gonna be talking through the clips, which is something that we want to do going forward. We want to have more fun with this. Let me know how you guys like it and how interested in you are. And if you don't see your favorite lifter, let us know if we missed somebody. So let's kick off that first clip right here. Now that we were talking about, there's athletes, and then there's freak athletes. Yes. So we're freak athlete.
And there he is, Colin Saunders. And he took it out.
Do you realize this man, what is he, 6'3", 350 pounds? A standing backflip. Literally, he did a standing backflip off the ground. I mean, what, Ed?
It was just amazing. I'm watching him play last night, and those two plays, he made that whole series. I mean, he made the stop in the goal line, and then the next play, he picks off the ball and runs it for like 30 yards out of the end zone. And I was laughing because, I mean, if you played football, you could tell, and Troy Aikman said it on the broadcast, this guy's played running back somewhere else because he's running and he's got the ball high and tight. Like anybody that's run the pill knows that's how you hold it.
Yes.
And it was fun to see.
Like I said, when he does that standing backflip he just did, I mean, like you said, there are athletes and then there are freak athletes. When you've got somebody that's 350 pounds and can legitimately, just from a standstill, do a flip, that is absolutely crazy. So we're going to go forward, and this is going to be a more familiar freak athlete. Let's roll the next clip. Man, I remember thinking I was strong until I watched this video. Just effortlessly. No noise, no screaming, just, this is what I do. I mean, not only is he Mr. Olympia,
Ronnie was a freak of nature.
That's most people's deadlifts. He's just bent over rolling just for the fun of it. Just inside of 100, and this T-bar stuff was just ridiculous. I mean, that's what I mean when we're talking about freak athletes, Ed. Remember when we were growing up and they used to talk and say, you're big for no reason, because there'd be a guy that was big and he was weak.
Couldn't move.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything.
You were just big for no reason.
Right.
And then, golly, I remember when that video first dropped, it was just like, I thought I was strong.
Yeah, and then you see Ronnie pulling that 495 like it's water. Nothing.
Just,
Again, freak athletes.
People dream about deadlift, that he's just like, yes. I'm going to bend over and row it. So we're just going to keep running right along. Let's run to the next one, then. We're going to have more fun as we go along. Let's pull up the next clip. This is the guy you asked for, Ed. Magnus Ver Magnusson.
Oh, yeah.
Magnus was demolishing men twice his size. If you've never tried to pick up an Atlas stone, have no idea how impressive that is. I mean, what is the last one is what, 500 pounds?
Something like that. It's over 4 somehow.
So, and there's no, I always used to say if I can put my hands on it, I can pick it up. You can't put your hands on it.
It's not always true.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
if I touch it, I can get it, but there's no place to touch this. And they're doing it for time.
Exactly.
They're doing it for speed. And Magnus was wearing these much larger men out. I mean, that's what made him a freak. He just hit a plethora of guys. Ed, you got anything you want to add on Magnus?
No, we do have to preface this. This is some of our favorite picks. There's guys out there. I mean, there's more guys to pick from.
Yes.
These are just the ones that came off the top of my mind, and I just remember him. He was big and he was athletic. He was, after that point, most world's strongest man were very good at the strength feats, and the athleticism was so. But that guy probably could have played nose guard in the NFL.
Yes.
He was athletic. He was strong. Again, he was just a specimen.
Yes. Let's go ahead and roll into the next one.
Watch this.
The biggest guy is Brian Shaw. He's so ridiculously strong. Fucking trim. He took 300 pounds in one hand. He squatted 720 pounds 13 times in under a minute. He's squatting a car in the Brian Shaw Classic. You got to remember, he picked up a Thomas Inch barbell. He was playing basketball, and he was just walking around like a giant guy. And you know what the Thomas Inch is? It's a circus trick. Like, nobody can do it. You have to pinch the barbell and lift it up. Everybody who's strong tries to do it. You can't do it. It's 1 in like 100 million people can do it. And he walked over and goes, I don't know, what is this? And they go, try to pick it up. Nobody could do it all day. And he goes, okay. And just pinched and went, this? And the guy goes, do you know what you just did? He goes, no.
This is before he started training?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Ed.
Again, the guy just naturally, again, like you said, he was born to do that. He was just built like that. They made him in a lab somewhere. He just strong, lean.
Did you ever watch
athletic.
their TV show that they had?
Yes.
And they were going around, and that barbell, that dumbbell he's talking about, they literally all went there, and he was the only one that could pick it up.
The only one that could pick it up.
And you're talking about some of the elite guys that were there. Mm-hmm. And he was
him and Thor's dad.
Did Thor get it up?
Thor's dad.
His
father.
His dad?
Yes.
So Thor can...
His father and his brother, I think his brother's taller than him, and his father's the same height.
Yes.
Yes.
That's just crazy. I mean, so you got Shaw. I mean, so we're just showing freak athletes, and we're trying to have fun with it. Like I said, if you've got something you want to talk about, feel free to join in. But like Brian Shaw, just going over and picking that I want you guys to research that dumbbell and how almost impossible it is to lift. So let's roll to the next clip.
Look at this again, Danny.
A man after my own heart right here.
Blood was already coming out there. He'd been holding his breath for a few seconds. Hadn't quite locked it out.
Oh, yeah.
That's the moment he got his hips through. And that's pure pleasure right there. He could have held it all day if he hadn't have, well, probably blacked out.
Very different idea from pleasure to me. But look at the pleasure on the faces of all these people.
The referee saying, down, put it down. It's a good lift, but no, enjoying the moment.
That's what you just a different level
until
of
he
crazy.
was satisfied. Until he really enjoyed it. History being made then.
That's just a different level.
10,000
so
people.
Ed, why don't you tell everybody exactly how much he lifted?
It was that benchmark was there for a long time. It was 500 kilos, which is a little bit over 1,000 pounds, and he was the first one in history to break it. And somebody else broke it again later on, but to me, at least personally, it's Eddie's not 6'8".
Yeah.
Eddie's not. Eddie was a short, strong
he's your
man.
height.
He's a shorter, strong man. For Eddie to do that, he had to walk around at almost 400 pounds.
Yeah,
it was.
Ed,
yes.
Think how big you are.
And
this dude was outweighing you by another 100 pounds of meat.
It's ridiculous.
Not fat, meat.
It's ridiculous, and the effort, the stress that he put on his body to accomplish that, it's amazing. And he's the first one to do it, so you have to give him his props.
We remember the first 4-minute mile.
Exactly. You got to give him his props.
It's been busted so many times, but you remember the first 4-minute mile.
Exactly.
So you got a guy like Eddie. So, and he got his one strongman competition. He won the world's strongest man that one time, and he promptly retired because he said it was too much stress. I mean,
his body's
he's 6'2", 440 pounds.
That I don't think he was that much, but I know he was over 400, but that's still a lot. People don't understand the stress that's on your body.
Yes.
I don't care how athletic and strong you are. If it's just
the heart can only pump so much, and
exactly.
You got to worry about things. Let's go ahead and run into the next one. Now, this is the guy that broke the record. And he's the run of the family. That's the part that trips me out about Thor. Hey, look at his technique. It's not.
Well, again, you work the technique for your mobility,
for your
your
height
body,
ability, yeah.
your body measurements.
So like butter. I mean,
he had more in the tank.
we just watched Eddie bust a vessel in his brain to do it, and Thor just walked over and went, eh.
He had more in the tank, and he broke it by 1 kilo.
Which I think is
1 kilo.
I think it's absolutely funny, and the reason I say it's absolutely funny is because Eddie and Thor had that beef.
Yeah, it was. I think, yeah, you're correct. I think it was after they had that disagreement in the World's Strongest Man. And
yes.
They were friends. He thought he got cheated in World's Strongest Man, and then they started beefing, and I think that was right after.
Did they ever get in the ring together?
They did, and Thor beat Eddie. Just conditioning. I mean,
he's 6'10".
You take them both. He's 6'8", but you take them both. He's leaner. He's a bit leaner for.
When you're that tall, you can hit somebody. I mean, Tyson is a great fighter, but
from across the ring.
When you saw what happened when he fought, what was the guy he fought? Oh my goodness, Lennox Lewis, and Lennox could just punch her from the other side of the ring.
Basically.
I mean, like what was that? The big Samoan kid that Lennox beat. Was it
Tua?
Tua? I wanted to say Tua, but I didn't want to say it was And Tua was a little beast, but he just when you get punched from across the ring, you just get tired of getting punched.
Exactly.
All right, now we're going to start going into some of the Ed's loves, the classics. We're going to get into the classics, and this next gentleman right here is just elite. Period.
He's the Michael Jordan of powerlifting, in my opinion.
4 times his body weight for a deadlift. Let's go, Ed!
I know he was only 198 pounds here.
I think
this is the 198. I think this is his 198, and I think this is a high 8er. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think this is when he's only a 198.
Okay, so that looks like looks a little bit over 7. Those, if I'm correct, those are 100-pound plates. 2, 4.
Hey, what was the description on that one? What does it give? I can't remember what the description on that one was, because I know it was, but whatever it was, even if it was 700.
The description says 220 pounds, 920 pound attempt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So he's 220 and 900
220,
pounds, yeah.
and he moved 900 pounds. So the one before it was 8. I think it was like 859.
He competed 220, 240.
Yes.
Right in there, but and again that's. It's just so incredible. He's 220. He's 220.
That's trying to get 220 pounds, picking up people's
cars.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes. At 220.
With that awkward deadlift position too. He just modified it.
It was 749.
Yeah. Okay.
749.
Right.
You were correct. It was 749 on that one.
Yeah.
So it's still 750 pounds at 220 pounds.
Yeah, it's a lot. I pulled 750 my last meet, and I was over 300 pounds.
His Wilk score is just like through the moon.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a couple more of Eddie, because Eddie was just that guy. Let's go ahead and roll to the next one.
100 pounds in the
800. $7.99 the squat.
Now, how much was he weighing in this one?
Ed Cohen, you better take a good look and remember this name.
Maybe this is the 198
Man of the
pounds.
future.
198 for this one.
Yeah, so 198 pounds. I knew he had something crazy at 198 pounds.
He's only like 5'7", 5'8".
With ace bandages on his wrist, on his knees. Absolutely. And that's
They weren't good reps back
Yes.
then. That's all they had.
Yes,
That's all the
ace
equipment
bandages.
available at the time. You know?
198 pounds, squatting
Nice.
almost 800 pounds. Once again, the man was just
Amazing.
beyond amazing.
I think the craziest one I've seen, he's like at 240 and he was training. It's a training session. The video is a training session. He's got a squat suit, but he doesn't have the straps on. If you know anything about it, you know.
It doesn't do anything without the straps.
It can hold your hips together a little bit better, but he had the straps off, but he had a belt. And it was a training lift, and he did a little bit of a 900 for a double. He does
I think
one.
it's in there. I think it's in there because, like I said, there's a couple of Ed because he's just, like I said.
He does one, he stands up, and he's like, no, not yet. And he does another rep, and then he racks it.
Yeah, I think it's in here. Let's go to the next one.
Both gentlemen moved up to the 198-pound weight class. Ed's best squat in a meet at this weight class at only 21 years old was 859 pounds. Again, that was equipped, squat suit and knee reps, but my goodness, is that massive at that weight class.
Once again, the ace
he had a
bandages.
502-pound raw bench and an 859-pound raw deadlift at 198 pounds body weight. His best total in this weight class, 2,205 pounds. John Hack's best 198 performance was done at 27 years old, where he squatted 760 pounds. He bench pressed 589 pounds raw and deadlifted 903 pounds raw on a deadlift bar, bringing us to a difference of only about 51 pounds on the total.
Could you imagine if Ed had those?
Yeah, if he had the
equipment
that they had before, we have now. But it doesn't matter, equipment or no. Those are crazy numbers.
So you got like
John is amazing too.
He's almost 600 pound bench press.
Yeah,
at what, 220?
Raw. Yep.
220 pounds.
Exactly. That's still.
I know supers that can't even do that.
Equipment or not.
Who's wrong with that one? That's the crazy. Now this is the guy you asked for right here. Let's roll the next one, Ed.
Now take a look at the concentration on Lamar Gant, who has won
123
more
pounds,
world
people.
titles in powerlifting than anyone in this competition. He's in the 123
And he has scoliosis.
I know. I saw pictures of his back. I wanted to put it up there so bad.
In the bench press and especially in the deadlift. Look at the arch in his back here. Yeah, people that say lifters are muscle bound should take a look at Lamar Gant. This dramatic arch. This improves his leverage. This is 320, a world record.
At 123 pounds.
123 pounds.
Unbelievable. He lifted it with power to spare. 122 and 3/4 pounds is what
Every time
he
I
weighs,
see it,
and
it
he's
looks
gonna try to
painful.
deadlift 634. If he pulls this,
It
it's
just
one of the
looks
greatest
painful.
pound-for-pound
It's
ever
all
made.
back in that bad, that crooked back. Oh, you guys should like Google his picture.
You could probably tie his shoes standing up too, as long as it's so long.
And look at his back. He literally, like Ed was saying, he's got scoliosis. That back, it winds like the Mississippi River. That back is crazy. And for you out there that know me and you know my girlfriend outweighs him. Just so you can understand, 123 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like I said, there are just levels, and that's a level.
Oh yeah.
I know supers that can't even do that, man.
Yes. And yes. I'm just going to say yes.
Let's roll to the next one. The man, the myth, and the legend. With ace bandages on again.
And he was already old here.
I don't know. I think he just looked old every time I That Adderall was not nice to that hairline.
Exactly.
How much did he squat right there? I can't remember. Does it list?
I don't know. I didn't see the plates.
This one does not list, but I can
Okay.
pause it if we want to look at the plates.
Yeah. Go back and pause it.
Oof. And see, that's the part too. Back then, there wasn't as much consistency with
the plates. Yeah,
I can't really tell.
That's a lot of plates.
Yeah.
So
I can bet you it's at least 900.
I was gonna say he routinely was in the 9s.
Yeah.
So and once again, ace bandages on, but you can look at his frame and tell he wasn't a huge man.
No, but again, proper technique and strength of years of training and a little crazy and again, freak of nature. That right there. The next one. That's the training video of Ed Coan that is impressive.
Let's go ahead and jump into this one. God,
it's 950. Look at how it's moving. Look, he's gonna throw it to the ceiling. For a double with straps down. It's just
ace bandages on again.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
I mean, the pressure that your spine is holding on. That's the crazy thing, and he's not. Once again,
your spine, your whole body.
Just you can say whatever you want. He does. It's just, oh my God. Yeah. It's just like crazy. I tell people, there's people, and then there's people you salute.
Yeah, salute. That's
it's all you can do. Now, this was one of my favorite guys, and you guys probably don't hear a lot about this guy because they took away all his records. They wiped him out of the history books because while he was breaking records, they allowed him to break the records with this technique. Now,
did they really take him out?
Yes, because they outlawed his technique, and they said because of his technique, it was easier. You and I both know that is not an easier bench press. That is twice as hard. So when you guys, I don't know if it actually shows a clip of Anthony Clark, but he reverse grips, and he was reverse gripping high 7s. What was it? What did he finish out with?
I don't know.
It was high 7s too. I mean. He was up
into 7 something.
Yeah, he was high 7s on a reverse grip.
Which is
pull the clip up really quick. And
try warming up like that. It's
yeah. 735.
Yep, and there he is.
Yeah, and there's pictures of this man picking up cars.
800.
You can stop the clip now. It's just from there. It's just somebody showing
It's hard. It's not an easy. It's not easy if you don't have the. What it does do is. It locks you in a little bit better. It keeps your shoulders behind your pecs how you're supposed to. But other than that, it's an awkward angle.
And there's really no place to punch out.
No.
You have to have some strong triceps to get up out of there, because there's just no place to punch out.
Exactly. There's no.
Let's go ahead and let's go to the next one. Just look up Anthony Clark. The guy was, wow. This is my dude right here.
You have to like Bill. His mouth.
That's just my dude right there. He's a special type of guy.
And he still, to this day, refers to him in the third person. He refers to himself in the third person.
Notice the bar is really slanted this time. They shroud him up. Here he looks like it's sticking, but he got it. Fantastic, remarkable record.
What most people, I think, don't realize about Bill, and what makes him who he is, what makes the Kazmaier who he is, we know him primarily from the World's Strongest Man's back in the day. But Bill was an elite power lifter.
Yeah.
You watch his numbers and some of the things he did, he was just an elite. He was beating people over here, and he was beating people over here. Yeah. You normally have one or the other. You don't get to go in two places and just beat people in both places.
And be as successful as he was. There's guys that would try to, even like Thor would power lift, and he did okay. And it took him for a while to do the strongman thing. Larry Wills wasn't all that great at the strongman. He's obviously
a great power lifter.
But he wasn't that good in the strongman. So
you remember
what Kaz did was special. He did them both. And Kaz, again, he was athletic. He was.
Remember they banned him
like a bodybuilder.
Few years. I wish I could have. By the time he got to go up against Sigmund, he was already busted.
He was busted.
Yeah, he had tore himself up and busted himself up. Let's go ahead and roll to the next one. But Bill Kazmaier, that's the type of guy that doesn't run around the wall, just go over the wall. He's just going to keep running into it. But him or the wall are going to lose. One of them are going to lose.
634.
Yeah. Just. And his intensity was just so crazy. Just leave him alone. Let him go in the back and chew on, like you don't have an old dog. You just let him chew on a tire.
Chewing a tire in the back until it's time to go.
And I think he had already tore his pec by then. Look at the.
It's ugly.
Yeah, I think he had already tore his pec when he did this because they talk about the injury and I couldn't find the double check because he had tore his pec and that's even more impressive.
Right. Yeah, because see how his elbows flare out? He's giving it more to his shoulders.
Yeah, but you can see that. You look at that left pec; it's up there. That's a pec that's like we don't hang out together anymore. Okie dokie. All right, here we go with this next man right here. Freak of nature.
Ray.
Natty. Just so you guys know, this man is 100% natty. Mr. Ray Ray. I want to say this was his 1100 squat.
It's a lot.
I want to say it was his one where he did 11. It's just raw strength.
And knee sleeves.
Raw, yes, not suited, just sleeves, raw, nothing in his system. Because
that man is big. Large.
Understatement.
Yes.
He drives a van. Now, okay, we're going to end this. We started this with a freak of nature. We're going to end this segment with a freak of nature. Now, the next guy coming up, most of you guys don't know that this man is a true freak of nature. We'll let the video play out. Just go ahead and roll it. I'll let the man talk. He's a true freak of nature.
What are your best lifts? If we go through all of them here, what are your best lifts?
My actually best lifts are not on barbells. I squatted 1,006. I bent 601. I deadlifted in competition 903 raw, no equipment, and I deadlifted 924 in training before I did that 903. I snatched 182.5, which is over 400 pounds, and I clean and jerk 225, which is over 500 pounds. There's only been about 3 Americans that have ever done it. And strongman, I won. It was the heaviest competition that had ever been created. I'm trying to be as humble about it as possible. I could be an asshole.
These are just facts.
I'm just stating facts.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, like, I love Mark because most people only know him as a wrestler and don't realize this is probably, when he says he's the world's strongest man, he has a legitimate argument to the question.
Claim to it.
It's legitimate. You know when he did that world's strongest man, he only trained for like 2 months.
I believe it.
Like he looked at Vince and said, "Hey, I'm going to go do this right here," because people were calling him out saying he wasn't, because he was using the title World's Strongest Man, and they were calling him out saying you're not. And he's like, "All right, cool, I'll show up and I'll beat you guys in your event." He showed up
and he did,
and he beat him. He was the only one, like in the competition, he was the only one able to lift the axle. He was the only one able to lift. There was a couple things that he was the only one able to lift. That funny style dumbbell they had it there. Yeah. He was able to lift it. There's just certain things that, like at the beginning, he was lifting that dumbbell and he lifted over his head. Yeah. When you start off that dumbbell that they were talking about with Brian Shaw, that's him snatching overhead. I mean, 500-pound snatch.
That's crazy.
You were literally picking up like people's dream bench press.
That's crazy. Yes.
And going, whee! Yes. Look what I can do. And the speed and explosion it takes shows you not only
just that and the strength. It's another level. You can only do so much to teach or coach that. It's a lot of it's got to be just God-given talent.
Yes,
you're born with it. There's things you can't coach.
And when he talks about his powerlifting records, you know he did that in his early 20s.
Yeah, I was young.
Like late teens, early 20s.
Right. So
because he wanted to be an Olympic lifter.
Right.
Just
it's ridiculous.
And I think he said on that 500, if I remember correctly, the 500 snatch, he's only like one of 3 Americans that have actually done it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like from Russia.
3 Americans.
Yeah. And I think everybody else is from like Russia, and then they'll tell him what they did in the science lab to create him.
Exactly.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. We wanted to have a little fun with it. We wanted to do little videos. We're gonna do some other things that we're gonna have fun with it. I still want to do the movie review, and I want to do the movie review with the Barbarian Brothers. So we're gonna look down. There's a lot of corny meathead movies from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna do movie reviews. So let us know how you guys like this video. If you like things like this, because Ed and I can nerd out on people lifting all day long. You guys take for granted, and I can't blame you for taking it for granted because you had it, the younger generation, of being able to pull up and watch things.
Right.
We couldn't pull up and watch things. So it was when we finally got a chance to watch it, like I remember.
You have to wait months to see the strongman, the world's strongest man.
On TV?
It was almost time for the new one when the one from the year before showed up on TV.
Yeah.
On ESPN.
Yes.
And it was like ESPN 3 or 2 at the middle of the night.
Waking up with Krusty Blues.
3:30 in the morning.
Or in our case, coming in from whatever shenanigans we were doing.
Exactly.
So this is Ed and myself. We're signing off for Muscle Matters. Thank you guys very much. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you.